Hello, very loving good afternoon to all of you. Today we will learn about performance budget. As we know that the name itself says that this budget based on the performance of each and every individuals. That is, the responsibility is assigned to each and every individuals and the cost incurred by that activity, incurred by that programs been assigned to an individuals in this budget. This budget is mainly used in government and public sector undertakings, and this budget projects the government activities and government expenditure also. Means government activities, you can say that road construction, building construction, and railway constructions, and blah blah blah, whatever, hospital. So there are so many constructions, so many activities uh, involved in government programs, and at the same time the expenditure also been predetermined. That is budget been prepared for the each and every activities, each and every programs. So this performance budget is projecting the government activities and government expenditure for the budget period. Means for 2021 financial year, whatever the government activities is going on, so the government activities and government expenditure is projected in that performance budget. Government, this performance budget also shows the budgeted expenses classified by budgeted expenses. I already told you that classified by functions, that so many functions are performed in the organizations, like in any industrial organization, sales, research and development, productions, and raw material purchase, procurement, and blah blah blah. The same like here also. So the performance budget shows the budgeted expenses classified by functions, activities, and unit cost. What are the features of performance budget now there arises? Features classified as per the functions again, as per the activities, and as per the programs. So first of all you have to specify the objective of each and every programs. In this performance budget you have to specify the objective of each and every program. Thereafter, you have to establish appropriate method for measuring work, because you have to measure the work. So you have to establish the appropriate measure, that how you want to measure the work. Thereafter, setting target, work target, that you have to finish, you have to complete this program, you have to complete this road construction within 6 months, within 3 months, or blah blah blah. So you have, in this budget, the features is what you have to setting of work targets for each and every program. Now, what is the performance objective of performance budget? Performance budget objective is what? To provide close linkage between what? Between planning and what? And action. And provide common basis for review, for control, and for reporting. Is that clear? So performance budget is mainly used in what? In government and public sector undertaking. Performance budget projects the government activities and government expenditure for the budgeted period. Government budget shows the budgeted expenses classified by functions, activities, and unit cost. The features of performance budget is, first one is classification. So you have to classify the performance budget according to functions, activities, and programs. Thereafter, you have to specify the objective of each and every programs. Thereafter, you have to establish the appropriate methods for measuring work. And after that, at the end, you have to set work targets for each program. So the objective is what? There is a provides a closer linkage between planning and action and provide the common basis for review, control and reporting. Is that clear to all of you? If yes, okay, fine. If not, please put a comment in the comment box so that I will rectify the lecture so that my target should be achieved, because my target is very difficult. I want that 1 to 1 person should learn, should understand the videos, otherwise the objective of mine cannot be fulfilled. So please take care. So please be careful. Watch the videos very carefully and then write a comment in the comment box. Now, what is the basic issues? Basic issues of performance budget involves in what? In the preparation of these budgets. That are developing work programs and performance expectations. Because we have expectations of what performance. So first of all, we have to develop programs, work programs, that how we may make a program, and in how many months or years we want to complete this program, and how much the cost incurred per unit. So in this way, we have to develop a work program and performance expectations, and by assessing responsibilities. So in this performance budget, we have to assess the responsibilities to the executives. So you have, in this budget, we are going to assess. So we have to assign responsibilities to the executives for the attainment of goals and objectives of the organization. Because in this performance budget, you are going to evaluate the performance of an individual, whether the person is completing their work on time or not, within the cost frame or not. So this performance budget is very important, that within the time frame, within the cost limit, you have to complete the work. So you are going to assign the responsibilities to the executives for the attainment of the goals and objectives of the organization. So this performance budget establishes well-defined responsibility center and targets. So in this, I already told you that we are setting targets, work targets also. So each and every executives are responsible to complete the targets within time frame. So this performance budget is a well-defined responsibility centers, you can say, and targets for each such centers in terms of physical units, so that actual performance can be compared with it. How many units you want to prepare, how much kilometer you have the targets to complete, and how much actually you have completed. So physical units, in terms of physical units, so that the actual performance can be compared with it. This performance budget is forecasting the amount of expenditure needed, that is how much expenditure is required to meet the physical plan, the plan which you have already make. To meet the plan, how much expenditure is required, and evaluate the actual with both physical and monetary targets. So this performance budget is forecasting the amount of expenditure needed to meet the physical units, physical plan, and evaluate the actual with both physical and monetary targets. Is that clear? Now again, we can say performance budget is a budget based on what? I already told you, functions, activities, and projects. which focuses attention on the attainment, that is, accomplishment, the general and relative importance of the work to be done and services to be rendered, rather than upon the means of accomplishment such as personnel, such as services, supplies, equipment, etc. So, under this performance budget, the functions of various organizations, organization units would be split into programs of activities, sub-programs and components, schemes, etc. And estimates would be presented for cash. This performance budget seeks to establish relationship between inputs, that is cost, and their direct output. This performance budget is the process of analyzing, identifying, simplifying, crystallizing specific performance objectives of the job to be achieved over a period of time in the framework of the organization objectives. The purpose and the objectives of the job, the techniques is characterized by its specific orientation during the business objectives of the organization. So, now I'd like to say that performance budget at last, that performance budget involves 4 things. First of all, you have to develop what? Develop the program criteria. What are the criteria of the program? Of the various programs. So you have to develop the performance criteria. So what are the criteria of the performance of various programs? So you have to develop this criteria first. And after developing the criteria of the performance for various programs, thereafter what? Thereafter we have to assess the performance of each program and by each responsibility units, because I have already assigned the responsibilities to each and every executives. So after developing the criteria of the performance of each and every programs, then we have to assess the performance of each program and by each responsibility unit. Thereafter, we will compare of the actual performance with the budgeted. Means what we have predetermined and what actually we have achieved. So we have to compare the actual performance with the budgeted. And thereafter, undertaking periodic review of the program with a view to make modifications as required. So after that, at the end, we will undertake periodic review. We will review the periodically of the programs, keeping into considerations to make some modifications as required. Now, all these theories which we have discussed right now, I would like to explain with the help of one example. See, this example is very good example through which I'm sure that you must understand this performance budget. One organization, suppose XYZ company, has a profit plan approved for selling 10,000 units, that is 10,000, suppose Gen car per month at an average selling price of 20 rupees per car. It's a funny, na? Because how could it be possible that sell one Gen car at the selling price of 20? Suppose this is a toy car. So 10,000 Gen car per month, there is a plan, and selling at an average selling price of 20 rupees per unit. The budgeted variable cost of production was 8 rupees per car. Variable cost is 8 rupees. And fixed cost is rupees 40,000. Planned income is 20 rupees per month. Planned income. Because of shortage of material, plant could not produce because there is shortage of material, and could, uh, could not produce 10,000 units. And in place of 10,000 units, the plant produced only 8,000 units. And the cost of production was increased by rupees 1 per car because the cost of production decreased. So variable cost of the product per unit increased by rupees 1. So because of the shortage of raw materials, the actually the organization, instead of 10,000, 8,000 produced. Okay, fine. Let's see what happened. Consequently, the selling price was raised by rupees 2 per Zen car. Selling price of the car was raised by rupees 2 per car. To modify production process, in order to meet material shortage, the company incurred an expenditure of 2,000 in research and development. So, to modify production process, in order to meet the material shortage, the company incurred an expenditure of research and development of 2,000 rupees. So, keeping into consideration all this data, we are need to prepare performance budget, at the same time performance report. Now you see the performance, first of all performance budget, how we prepare. So we will prepare the budgeted performance that we have predetermined, and thereafter we will prepare the actual. Very easy. First of all, we have to calculate the sales of 10,000 units of car. So 10,000 sales budgeted, we have already planned for 10,000 units of car at the rate of rupees 20. So how much budgeted sales we are expected? That is 20 multiplied by 10,000, that is 2 lakhs of rupees. Okay, fine. Whereas the actual is how much? Actual is not 10,000 but 8,000. And because of the shortage of raw materials, the sales decreased from 10,000 to 8,000. But the selling price increased from 20 to 2 rupees addition, that is 22 rupees. So the selling price, because increased, so we sold 8,000 car at the rate of 22. So the amount will be 1,76,000 rupees. Now from sale, we have to deduct variable cost. Variable cost is 8 rupees per unit, that is budgeted. 8 rupees per unit multiplied by 10,000 rupees. So 10,000 multiplied by 8, 80,000 rupees. Whereas the actual is how much? Because of shortage of material, the variable cost is increasing by 1 rupees. The variable cost is increasing by 1 rupees. So the variable cost per unit become 8 plus 1, that is 9 rupees, multiplied by 8,000, that is 72,000 rupees. Now by deducting the variable cost from sales, we will get contribution. And contribution is what? Contribution is the addition of fixed cost and profit. So budgeted contribution was 1,20,000, whereas actual become 1,04,000. Now the fixed cost was 40,000. So by deducting 40,000 from the contribution, the remaining income is 80,000. But that is budgeted income is 80,000. Whereas actual will be how much? Because we know that it says that to modify production process, in order to meet the material shortage, the company incurred an expenditure of 2,000 rupees in research and development. So the fixed cost here increases by 2,000. So the budgeted fixed cost was 40,000. Here 40 plus 2, that is 42,000. So from 1,04,000 you deduct 42,000 rupees as fixed cost. The income, actual income became 62,000. So the budgeted income was 80, whereas the actual become 62,000. Now we have to make a summary report. Actually, what happened? Because we have to report to the top management. So here is what? Here selling price difference variance is how much? Because the increase in the selling price per unit, the variance become how much? You have to multiply by 2 rupees, because budgeted was 20, but the actual is 22. So 22 multiplied by 8,000, that is how much become? How much variance is there? 20 to 22, that is 2 rupees variance. 22 minus 20, that is 2 rupees variance. 2 rupees variance for how many units? Because actually we are producing 8,000 units. So 8,000 units multiplied by 2. So it will be how much? It will be 16,000 rupees. This is favorable because your amount is increasing. So this is favorable. Now, how much is the variable? Variable cost is variable cost differences, that is variability in cost variance is how much? So due to increase in the cost of production, how much is increasing per unit? That is 1 rupees per unit. By shortage of raw materials, the variable cost is increasing, and variable cost is increasing by rupees 1. So how much is the variable cost variance? Variable cost variance is 8,000 units, because actual production is 8,000 multiplied by 1 rupees. So the variable difference is how much? 8,000 rupees. You just see, in budgeted, in sales is how much budgeted sales was? 2 lakhs. Actual is 1,76,000 rupees. Is that clear? So if suppose we budgeted supposed to be 20 rupees per unit, then how much it would be? It would be 20 multiplied by 8, that is 1,60,000. But due to shortage of material, the actual sale was 8,000 units. Because of that, your selling price increased by rupees 2. So, though it should be, if suppose we consider by taking into consideration the budgeted cost, the budgeted selling price was 20, it should be for 8,000 units, 16,000, 1,60,000. But because of the shortage of raw materials, selling price increased by 2. So, because selling price increased by 2, so 2 multiplied by 8,000, that is 16,000 increase. That is the reason why here you see summary report said that selling price variance will be how much? 16,000. That is 62, 1,60,000 to 1,76,000. The difference is 16,000 variance. Now come to variable cost. Keeping into consideration the variable cost 8 rupees per unit, budgeted variable cost is 80,000 rupees. Whereas in actual variable cost will be how much? 72,000. So how much is the difference? Difference is 80,000 minus 72,000, that is 8,000. Because of what? Because of 1 rupees difference, 1 rupees difference in variable cost, 1 rupees difference multiplied by 8, that is 8,000. Now come to activity. Activity means contribution, that is fixed cost plus profit. So contribution is how much? Because you know the selling price is 20 rupees per unit. Variable cost is 8 rupees per unit. So by deducting 8 rupees from 20 rupees, the contribution will be 16 rupees. So 12 rupees. Now this 12 rupees is your variable cost contribution. So this contribution will be for how much? The variability of loss of contribution because of the sale decrease from 10,000 to 8,000. So what what sort of impact it puts on contribution? Whether your contribution decreased or increased, there is loss. There is loss of contribution of how much? There is loss of contribution of 12 rupees per unit multiplied by, because contribution budgeted contribution is 12 for 10,000 unit. So, but we are selling 8,000 units. So, because 8,000 instead of 10,000, there is 8,000 units. So there is a difference of 2,000. So 2,000 units multiplied by 12 rupees, we are losing. So 2,000 units we are not producing, and so each unit we are losing 12 rupees contribution multiplied by 2,000, that is 20,000 rupees we are losing, and that is called adverse, that is unfavorable. Now fixed cost. Fixed cost is how much? Fixed cost again. Fixed cost is increasing from 20 to 40 to 41 because of production level. The research and development expenses is increasing by 2,000 rupees. So due to this shortage, our research and development cost is increasing. So 2,000 rupees increasing. So it's also adverse. So now you see the income. How much income it came? 16,000 rupees is your selling price, and this is the favorable that you are getting more, because instead of 1,60,000 rupees at the rate of 20, we are getting 1,76,000 rupees, 16,000 more we are getting. But this is favorable, but the other one, variable cost, is increasing, so there is loss. Contribution decreasing, so there is loss. So variable cost differences is how much? 8,000 rupees, because 8,000 multiplied by 1, this is adverse, minus. Again, contribution, that is 12 rupees contribution multiplied by 2,000, that is 12,000 adverse. Again, fixed cost 2,000 adverse. So adverse, there is 8,000 adverse, 24,000 adverse, and 2,000 adverse. So when you add all these adverse, then 8,000 plus 24,000 plus 2,000, that is 34,000. Out of 34,000, when we deduct 16,000, so the income is how much? 18,000. 18,000 we are losing. 18,000 we are losing, that you see from the performance budget. In budgeted income is how much? 80,000. And the actual income, how much? 62,000. So how much income decreased? 18,000. And this here is how much? 18,000. It means your summary report which you have prepared, which is not indicated in performance budget, which you have indicated in summary budget. This 80 to 62,000, that is 18,000. How the difference became? Because of the sales variance, because of the sales variance of 160 to 176, that is 16,000 we are getting more. But because of the shortage of this one raw material, your variable cost is decreasing or increasing by 1 rupees multiplied by 8, that is 8,000. Contribution, again loss, because of 2,000 units we are not producing. So 12 rupees multiplied by 2,000 units, that is 24,000 we are losing. Again fixed cost, again increasing more, that is research and development cost incurring 2,000 more. So this is also negative. So the total negative is 36,000, 34,000, and positive is 16,000. So from negative 34,000 minus 16,000, the amount will be 18,000. This is the total income which we are losing because of this change in sales, change in production from 10,000 to 8,000. This is what called performance budget. Is that clear to all of you? If not, then we will discuss again. Now, this performance budget reports what? To be submitted, because we have prepared the report. We prepared the performance budget. We prepared the summary report. And this summary report we have to submit it at regular interval. To whom? To the higher authority. Showing what? Physical performance achieved. The expenditure incurred. We have shown the expenditure, how much expenditure is incurring. We have also shown the physical performance which we are achieving. And we have also shown the variance along with the expectations. So what is to be suggested in performance budget? In performance budget, government should adopt the accrual system of accounting. Accrual means increasing. Such budgets are similar to the traditional system of budget and budgetary control, and will be successful if they are drawn up realistically after carefully study of feasibility and available resources. This is what is your performance budget. If you understand, well and good. If not, then please tell me. Please discuss with me. Write a comment in the comment box in Facebook as well as in YouTube, because I'm uploading this videos on YouTube also and Facebook also. And please honestly mention your comment, so that if there is some error remains in this videos, then I will try to rectify the error, so that each and every viewers will understand and my mission will be achieved. Okay, thank you very much. Nice watching the videos. Good day, and keep safe and stay at home, because these days we are crossing through very critical moment of time, and so if we will not stay at home, it will be very dangerous. So try to be at home and keep yourself safe. Make yoga, make meditations, watch movie, take care of your children's. There are so many work by which we may, and not only that, if you have a hobby of gardening, then you engage yourself in gardening like me. I'm fond of gardening, so I have a small beautiful garden on the rooftop. So like me, you also take care of your garden, take care of your children. Bye bye. Thank you.